Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see Viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Okay, these are the Gloyd's Cantils. Usually these guys have been feeding pretty well and actually coming right up to the window to feed. Sometimes, you know, reaching a point of whoa, this is getting a little too close for comfort, but not today. They're pretty big snakes and they're rapidly outgrowing their little huts, but you know, they, as long as they fit, they sit.
They actually prefer it when it's really cozy.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I prefer not to disturb the animal unless it's absolutely necessary, because in the end, these are not really pets. These are wild animals. They may be bred in captivity, but I never refer to them as pets because they don't really fit that classification. And here's the other one. Hi there. Oh, whoa, okay. Well, that's what usually happens with these guys. They do have a tendency to lunge, and if they're coiled up right out inside the glass, it makes for an interesting feeding experience. And unlike my younger self, if we go back to some of the earlier videos, I took far more chances getting some really close-up and interesting shots, but I am no longer interested in taking unnecessary chances just to get views. Ending up at the hospital emergency room is not something I desire, and besides, it's worse for Mrs. Viperkeeper than it is for me, because it stresses her out because she cares for me so much. So we are being extra careful with animals as time goes on, and we don't want to set a bad example. Alright, the last time I was in here, he grabbed a piece of substrate and not the gecko, and then when I was forced to restrain him and pluck the piece of substrate out of his mouth, he was butthurt and did not eat. So let's see if he's interested in eating and where he's hiding. That's the problem with this guy. That's why I call him sandworm. Like the creatures from the Dune, or that science fiction program we watched the other day.
Oh, Tremors.
Tremors. You never know where he's going to pop up, if he's going to pop up at all. Alright, now we have to do some probing. Did I wake you up, or are you in shed? Here, I didn't mean to bop you in the head. Oh! Alright, well, I'm not going... You got the tail, but not the critter.
No.
You ripped the tail off. Alright, well, I'm not going after him because I'll let him figure out and see if he comes back for the rest or not.
He got shortchanged.
Well, you know, he was grabby. And if you're grabby, sometimes you don't get what you get. Or get what you need. Okay, so next one is this remaining June-born lesser Sunda Island pit viper. Doesn't yet want to eat geckos. Sorry, doesn't want to eat mice, but likes to eat geckos. So he didn't get anything to eat last week, so he's nice and hungry. These other guys, well, actually, I fed the wrong one.
Oops.
So, all right, we're gonna be one short, but that's okay. That one ate a mouse cake, so.
Hopefully it's not going to want geckos again after that.
Yeah. Alright, so it was this one. There you go. There we go. Close that up. And who's going to get shortchanged? Well, certainly we're going to try these Equus babies. This way I don't have to wrap my little fingers around their tiny little heads and take the chance of getting bit. So we got some very small geckos to give it a try. So let's go with the smallest one, if we can find it and not really piss it off.
Hopefully it's still in there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh my god, look how tiny.
Tiny guy. Oh, this is going to be a big meal for you. Oh, you're interested? Oh, but that's a very big meal there, Mr. Viperkeeper.
Well, also a big camera lens, which might be freaking him out a bit.
Alright, so we're going to leave that. He may eat it, he may not even be able to fit the whole thing down. That one may need some cannula feeding for a while. That was the runt of the litter. These other guys are not terribly huge either. Now these eat small invertebrates when they're not that size. So they're like, oh, well, this is a gecko. This is not a centipede or a baby scorpion. But again, I'll leave this behind and hopefully it will decide to eat it. Now for the last one, I think these are some of the smallest geckos I've got in stock. So they're just going to have to make do. It's this one, right? Yep. Oh, and this one's, we got a shedding. The other ones didn't shed yet. Oh, we got a strike out of that one.
Excellent.
Okay, first baby shedding. Alright, so no real excitement here, but we'll see if they eat or not. So we'll just...
Well, at least it's encouraging that it
right.
attacked it. You know, those are usually the ones that survive.
Yes.
And do very well.
Yeah, that's usually it. Poor little runt of the litter may have to be cannula fed. And dumbass there.
Yeah, he hasn't come back up yet.
Yeah, we specialize in dumb snakes. Alright, so instead of 2, I have 1, which I'll feed to one of Rocket Babies across the way. Maybe later I'll move that around the cage and see if he's interested. Hey, Rocket, you're in shed, huh? trying to soak. Well, that's the March's pit viper. We very seldom see it because it prefers to stay in its hut, and it usually only eats live things. Oh, look at that. What are you trying to give me there, bud? That was awful. You see him shake his head and stuff. He's not interested in that.
Ew,
It's dead. Yep.
It's a shame we can't see him. He has got such beautiful coloring. He looks quite green, but there are little tiny blue scales everywhere. Just spectacular.
Yep. And he very seldom comes out during the day and sits on, or she sits on the upper branches. Apparently has a right temperature balance down there, doesn't need to the sun. So that's just the way it goes. I offer, they don't want it, they'll have to wait because every other week we feed live.